Hello, everyone, and welcome to the OCNJ Local, your podcast for everything happening here in America's greatest family resort. We're your hosts, Dominick Dougherty and Drew Fasy.
And we are your local guys.
I got it right that time, Drew. Got to go the opposite direction when I point to you. That's what I've learned.
It's Go Birds.
Go Birds, baby. Training camp starts soon. We're close to that. You know what else we're close to, Drew?
Our training camp starts soon.
Our training camp starts tomorrow.
Tomorrow.
Get pads and real football starts next week, Drew. Where did it go?
Next week? Did it go? Next week? 2 weeks, right?
Oh, next week, dude. Next week's August 1st.
Wow.
A week from when this airs, it'll be August 1st.
Let's go.
41 days until Labor Day.
The countdown, 41 days.
41 days. It's flying by, man. It is flying by.
It is.
I'll tell you what, though. This past weekend was possibly, I would say, the nicest stretch we've had this summer. It was hot. The wind was light and onshore. No humidity. Just beautiful.
Nice waves. The water's warm. The water's upper 70s. It's beautiful. Clear, clean, beautiful.
Yeah, it's one of those weekends at the Jersey Shore where you're more grateful to live here than normal.
Yes, sir.
I actually left the island yesterday. Believe it or not,
we all make mistakes, Dom.
You know, it's funny that you say that because every time we go, my in-laws live in Barrington, like right outside Cherry Hill, and I feel like every time we go visit them, it's always like the most beautiful day in Ocean City, whether it's like November or July. It's always like, oh man, this is like the best day we've ever had. And traffic getting there wasn't bad. There were definitely some congested points. Coming home though, the traffic on the expressway was insane.
Headed east or headed west?
Headed west. Headed west. People leaving the shore. As I call it the shore, I can't believe I just said that. It was very day tripper of me. People leaving
almost Airbnb-ish.
Cool. That's harsh, Drew. That's harsh. We'll go local in purgatory, calling it the shore. People leaving the beach, though. I mean, there was so many people leaving Ocean City or just leaving the beach area. I was glad I was going in the other direction. Let's put it that way. So, but everybody's coming into town this weekend, Drew. It is the night of nights.
The night of nights.
Night in Venice in Ocean City, New Jersey. It doesn't get any bigger than that here. It definitely rivals the 4th of July, Memorial Day weekend. I'd put it right up there as the number of people that are coming into town. Although I think the amount of libations and red cups will be far surpass both of those holidays for sure.
Absolutely.
So
there are many people who live on the bay in Ocean City who live for night in Venice. It makes their summer. It makes their year. They're going to start planning their next night in Venice party the day after this night in Venice. They get all out. I'm telling you, people go all out on the bay.
So this is the 68th night in Venice here in Ocean City.
68th annual. I believe that would mean that it began in 1955.
Wow, 1955. Definitely, Island looked a little different in 1955. My house was built that year. It was probably Bayfront. The first year Night in Venice was held. So that's crazy.
Yes, let's be clear again.
Sorry.
Night in Venice, not nights in Venice. Just as it's not America's greatest family resorts.
Listen, I'm quickly losing my local status. You might have to find a new co-host for episode 8 because I think I'm getting the boot after this one. So, Drew, as always, I know you're
excited about this because the theme this year is it's a Philly thing. So the normal craziness might get ratcheted up a few levels for It's a Philly thing.
Well, Philly always is a little bit crazier. We all know that. That's for
We
sure.
all know that.
So, as I was saying, Drew, you always do your due diligence and do some research on it. So why don't you tell us a little bit about what you learned about Night in Venice this week?
Okay.
I got it right that time. Night in Venice.
You did. So again, this is the 68th annual, which is pretty cool in and of itself. The Grand Marshal this year will be the beloved retired Action News anchor Jim Gardner. And there will be special guests on top of Jim Gardner. We have the Philly Fanatic, we have the Flyers Gritty, and we have the Eagles Swoop will all be in the parade this year.
Sweet.
That's pretty exciting. Yep. And again, this year's theme is It's a Philly thing. And I think after, the Birds going to the Super Bowl and the Phillies going to the World Series, I think that'll be covered in boat and house decorations. There's probably going to be a lot of pretzels and cheesesteaks, right? I think it's a good theme. So the wear, as always, it goes from the Longport Bridge to Tennessee Avenue, and it goes in and out of lagoons along the way. Where to watch. So from Battersea Road to Tennessee Avenue, at all street ends, the city sets up
bleachers and nice little areas for you to go sit and check stuff out. So
you can also go on to the 9th Street Bridge because the 9th Street Bridge is closed. So you can stand on the 9th Street Bridge. And the Bayside Center, you can buy tickets and watch the parade from the Bayside Center. And that includes food and drink. And I believe they have a band and maybe some entertainment for the kids. I don't know if that's sold out yet or not. It generally sells out. I don't know if it's sold out yet or not. But that's a great spot to watch it. Parking. So there are 3 city parking areas: the airport, the soccer field on Tennessee Avenue, and the community center. And they offer free shuttles. That's free parking, free shuttles up and down Bay Avenue from 4 o'clock to 10 o'clock.
Wait a minute. You said free in Ocean City?
Free shuttles, free parking.
Free shuttles, free parking.
Yes.
In this is Ocean City, New Jersey we're talking about.
Ocean City, New Jersey. Yeah.
Wow. This is definitely the night of nights then. If Ocean City is giving away free parking and free transportation.
Then we have what my favorite part of it, which they only started a few years ago, not many years ago, the fireworks on a barge at 2nd or 3rd Street in the Bay. And the fireworks, I think Ocean City has the best fireworks on the Jersey Shore. And
really?
Yes.
Listen.
Yes. Come on. All right. Yours were good on the beach.
Listen, I almost blew up a few people. Ocean City's fireworks were 15 minutes this year. Come on, man. I know it's not an election year. I know we're not trying to get votes.
Tell me who had better fireworks this year.
I don't know, Drew. I didn't see any other fireworks other than Ocean City, so I'd have to say they were the best.
All right. So let me back up. In my opinion, Ocean City has the best fireworks, and the fireworks on Night in Venice are no slouch, let me tell you.
No, I'll agree with that. They'll probably be longer than the ones for 4th of July this year.
They might be.
Yeah.
So it's a boat parade. The boats decorate, and there are prizes given to the best boats in a couple different categories. The houses decorate, and there are prizes given to the best decorated houses in multiple categories. And this year, the sponsors of those prizes are OCNJ Water Sports. So that's again, Dom, TJ Heist and his businesses, his boat rental, the Boat Exchange, Totally Two-Wheeler, Aqua Park. Yeah, so he's one of the sponsors. Acme Markets is one of the sponsors.
Nice.
And the Ocean City Regional Chamber of Commerce is one of the sponsors.
Cool.
and they give out gift cards and various prizes, which is really cool. So aside from that, you also have the Miss Night in Venice pageant, and that is separate from the Night in Venice has a committee, and the Miss Night in Venice has a committee.
Wow,
And
I didn't know that.
yes. So how the Miss Night in Venice pageant works is you have to apply. You have to get a local business as a sponsor. And it's pretty generous of the business because they really don't get much out of it other than contributing to this charitable venture is what it is. And they set up in all the businesses, they set up
your little change collector at the
the little change collector, and the contestants go out and try to get sponsors, and the winner is the person who gets the highest amount of donations. And I'm going to go through the contestants, Dom, because I think these kids should get a shout out, don't you?
Yeah, 100%. You're out there, you put yourself
and I'm going to give
the
a shout out to their sponsors also, because I think they deserve a shout out. So the contestants this year are Bria Candela, my old neighbor, who is being sponsored by Boyer's Market. Lila Ginsburg, that's right. Lila Ginsburg, sponsored by Mama Mia's. Mia Wanadana, sponsored by Gabriel Building Group. Lily Benigno, sponsored by Johnson's Popcorn. Marissa Trossel, sponsored by Fox Realty. Kayla Eddington, sponsored by Kessel's Corner. Mia Pancoast, good cheesesteak.
Yep.
Mia Pancoast, sponsored by Grace Realty. Got to give a shout out to my boy H, Harry Vanderslice.
Native, big time native.
Big time native. Samantha and a good dude. Samantha Parsons, sponsored by Playland, Castaway Cove, and Preps Pizza. And
she wins just for that sponsorship right there.
I knew you were gonna
just for that sponsorship. I Playland and Preps. That's a match made in heaven right there.
Yes, absolutely. While I'm on that, I'd like to offer condolences to Scott Simpson from Playland. His mother just passed away. Condolences, Scott. Lovely woman. Sarah Davis, sponsored by Shore Local Magazine, and Summer Castro, sponsored by the Beehive Studio. So they take in all these donations, and all these girls hustle for all these donations, and the highest amount of donations dictates the winner. And then the pageant committee splits up all of those donations to some local, really good charities. So this part of Night in Venice is, aside from the fun and games, this part of Night in Venice, the Night in Venice pageant, is a really fantastic fundraiser for some really fantastic charities. And I don't know who the charities are this year, but I'll tell you who they were last year. They were the Ocean City Historical Museum, the Ocean City High School After Prom, which is a great thing. I'm going to get back to that. Shore Medical Center, the Hero Campaign, the American Legion, the Local Post 524, Family Promise, Caring for Kids, and the Sunshine Foundation. So wow. All great local charities. So
well, Drew, it's funny you froze up here. I always thought Nights of Venice was just a big weekend for, Circle and Boulevard. I didn't realize that all these other charities also benefited from it too. So,
that's why I wanted to bring it up, Dom, because I think it's important for people to realize that.
It is. I thought it was always just an excuse to ride your bike around Bay Avenue and, maybe dress in a weird costume and, drink a lot.
drink too much, right?
Yeah. Guilty as charged one too many times.
Yes.
So
the winner, I think they do a winner and a first and second runner-up. So
cool.
Good luck to all those contestants. Again, I think all those kids are really go into that for good reason. You know, they're not necessarily pageant kids. They're doing it for
philanthropic reasons.
Yes, exactly.
And they have their own float. They have their own boat in the parade. So you'll be able to, root them on and cheer them on. So that was good. That was something good to learn because
yes,
I'll have to drop some more change in those buckets over the next couple days here for sure. Especially at Castle's Corner and Boyers. Don't know why I'm going there. So listen, we'll take a quick break and hear from some of our sponsors, and then we'll get into the fun of Night in Venice. All right, Drew. So you told us about, the who, what, where, when, and why of Nights in Venice. You educated us all on the Miss Nights in Venice pageant and what a great service it does to the local community. Now let's get down to why this is the Night of Nights here in Ocean City. Because, as you said in the beginning, there are people that live on the bay that live for this night, and they spare no expenses on the parties, on the libations, on everything that goes into making this night the Night of Nights. And it's funny because I remember when I was growing up, it wasn't always like that. Like, you could go into people's houses and you could just go and have a drink in their backyard with them. And, that's how it was. Now it's like there's caterers, there's bartenders, there is,
DJs.
You got to be dressed to the nines. Like, it's not the way that it was 20 some years ago when, a kid like me is just riding his bike around and just hopping in and out of people's backyards and nobody really cared, So
well, I'll go back even further, Dom. When I was a kid, which is quite a few years ago, more than 20, as a family, I'm one of 7, and we always went to the mayor's house on 17th Street. Now, that wasn't the mayor of Ocean City. That was the last name of the family, the mayor's. We always went there, and we always got dressed. White pants, white skirts for my sisters, red and white striped shirts for everybody. I mean, we were dressed really, really nicely. My parents put a lot of effort into dressing the family to go to this party. It was a big deal back then, but it wasn't the kind of big party that it is today. People had parties at their house, but it wasn't anything like what it evolved into.
That's ironic,
right?
Because I remember that this one person I knew, they consistently had a white trash party every year, and you would just go dressed like total white trash, and that's what you did. And then you stumbled around to all these other parties where people were dressed nice and you were not really looking your best.
Right.
I live across the street from the 8th Street Lagoon, and the houses over there have gotten a lot bigger in the past 3 years, and the parties have gotten a lot bigger too. There's a neighbor on, I guess, the Pleasure Ave side of the inlet that throws down like it's no one's business. I mean, they're rocking their 3 stories. They got techno-colored lights. It's a party, to say the least.
Like I said, there's people who gear up for this all year, and man, they throw a party. So back in the day, as you said, and it's still the same way. It just has outgrown me, right? We used to go by horse. We traveled by horse and get on your bike and start at wherever, 18th Street. And as the night went on, you were just going going house to house, and it was kind of like a Mardi Gras situation. It was just open. Every party was open.
Yeah.
Just wandered in and met people and had fun and moved on.
Not the same.
I'm sure. I'm sure it can be the same, but not like that. That was back in the heyday. And the number of boats out there is less than it used to be. I think with drinking, yeah, for sure. With drinking and driving laws so punitive now, I took my boat out, and again, I was probably in my mid-20s, and I remember we formed a bridge across the 16th or 17th, I forget, 17th Street Lagoon. So people were crossing boat to boat to boat to boat to get from one side of the lagoon to the next. Yeah. And I think I may have had a few too many that night. And I may have ended up waking up on my boat, tied up in somebody's dock that I didn't know who they were. They didn't know me. And I got up in the morning and they offered me a cup of coffee and breakfast, and I went on my way.
See, now that's what Nights in Venice is all about right there.
That's what Nights in Venice is all about.
Night in Venice. I'm sorry. I added the S because it is only one night.
Yes.
That's wild. I know there used to be, I don't know if there still is, there was always a big like float party in one of the lagoons. My friends would go to it often. I can't say I ever partaked in that one.
That's during the day, I think.
Yeah, that's during the day.
That's the flotilla on the 18th Street Lagoon, and there's kayaks and paddle boards, and it might be hundreds of people. I don't know how many are out there now. It's grown, and it's just a big party in the lagoon during the day.
So the question is, Drew, what are you doing for Night in Venice this year?
So we were invited. Our friends who we went to their home for years. They have fairly recently, retired, sold their home in Ocean City. They purchased a home in Florida, and their two boys are in Wyoming and San Diego. So they spend their summers in Wyoming and San Diego. So we're not going to their house. We are going to friends in the neighborhood invited us to their home. And we're also doing a dog park party.
Nice.
My little pocket park. We have, I've said it before, we have great neighbors, and we have a fairly sizable group of people who live in the neighborhood who have dogs, and we socialize out there, and we're going to have a dog park party.
That
and
sounds
it's going
like
to be kind of potluck and BYOB, and we'll watch the parade, and we'll watch the fireworks from our friends on the bay, and then we'll who knows? I could end up traveling by horse again.
It's a possibility. It's always a possibility.
It's always a possibility. How about you, Tom? What are you doing?
As of now, I'm actually going to probably make another mistake and get out of town again. And
that's blunder 2 so far this week.
Well, it's just shaking out. My July has been super busy with, out of town traveling. So I'm looking forward to August and things slowing down. But I did, my one friend who lives on the bay, they did invite us over. So we might stop there. I don't know. My wife works nights, and she just got this new schedule where she's off Friday, Saturday, and Sunday night. So it's really weird to have her around on the weekend. So we actually go and do stuff now. So it's kind of nice. It's been fun. So we'll see. You never know. Maybe I can convince her to stay. Being in the central or downtown section of Ocean City, it tends to get a little crowded in this area. So getting away and escaping it all for a little bit isn't necessarily a bad thing.
It does get crazy by the bay. It
Yeah.
gets really, I mean, a friend of mine, Holly Kisby, runs the Parking Olympics page on Facebook, and Night in Venice is always a leading contender for a winner, right?
Yeah.
The traffic, the pedestrian traffic, the bicycle traffic. I mean, everybody goes to the bay, right? On Night in Venice.
And you bring up a good point, Drew. There, the pedestrian traffic, the bicycle traffic. You know, and this just goes for everybody: the bicyclists, the pedestrians, the motorists. Be mindful of each other on Night in Venice. If there's a night where you're ever going to be careful, it should be that night. A lot of the people on bikes are young kids. A lot of the people walking are families. So take your time, slow down.
And not just Night in Venice. We're into the thick of it. This is the height of the season, and everybody has to slow down and be aware of your surroundings. I think I told you, Dom, when I'm driving these days, I get into a Zen-like state, right? I just chill out, I slow down, and try to be safe. Well, I almost lost it the other day when a New York license plate. I was at 8th and Atlantic, and it was a green light, and I was not driving fast, but I was headed south, going through the green light, and a New York license plate driver decided to pull a U-turn in the intersection. No signal, no warning. Almost got me out of my Zen-like state. I might have changed my hands, gesture from this for a second, but
putting up some smokestacks, Drew.
Yeah. Everybody, let's slow down. Let's be safe. The worst thing in the world that could happen is you get
you're a few minutes late to your party.
That's right.
Just slow down. Let's let the people cross the road.
Yeah,
let's have a safe night in Venice.
It might be kids on bikes that are driving or riding erratically or driving maniacally, but it's still somebody's kid. We don't want those kids to get hurt or killed. Just everybody chill.
Yeah, have a good time. And like you said, with the drinking and driving penalties getting to what they've been, call an Uber, get a DD. No need to be a hero and try and drive home or try and drive anywhere.
Can I use that as a segue, Dom?
Sure, man. Go ahead.
I'm going to take a little turn when you're talking about drinking and driving. So, Ocean City High School has an after prom program. They've had it for 20, 25 years, and the after prom is specifically built to provide the prom goers with a safe place to go after prom.
Yeah, I remember that. We had one, and they would come and they'd put the mangled car in front of your high school the week before the prom, and let everybody know, hey, be smart.
And that's only one mistake. There's lots of mistakes that can happen prom night, right? So the Ocean City High School after prom committee, I've volunteered several times, including this year and last, and just wow, they do a great job. I mean, they take over the entire high school. They have everything you could imagine. They use the auditorium for live music and karaoke. There's dancing. There's food, all kinds of food, anything you could possibly want. There's games. It's just a phenomenal thing. It's a fantastic thing. It's so good that kids just look forward to it, right? So it's a way to perpetuate keeping these kids from making bad mistakes. And this year, after 10 years, there are two co-chairs that are retiring. And I had to give them a shout out, right? The first is Charlie and Jen Bowman, and the co-chair is Bill and Amy Holmes. They're great people. Charlie and Jen are natives. Bill and Amy are ex-locals about to be locals again. Just clarifying that for you, Dom. I know you're interested. But really, great people. They were chairs for 10 years. They put a lot of time, a lot of effort, a lot of energy, and a lot of love into the mission of the after prom. And they deserve a lot of people's gratitude.
100% true. I agree. You know, in our Slack channel for the Junior Raiders, someone posted, "Hey, we need help for the after prom." So myself and our new president, Damon Brady, we stepped up and volunteered to break it down. And we got in there at like 10 o'clock on the morning of the prom. And immediately Amy was like, "Hey, I need you to do this. Hey, I need you to do that." And I'm like, "Hey, man, I'm just here to see what the breakdown is." And some of the other volunteers were just laughing at me because she was just on point running around. And when I came back into the high school at, I believe it was like 4 a.m. to break everything down, I didn't even think I was in Ocean City High School anymore. It was like a whole different world. I was completely transported into, I think that it was Denim and Diamonds this year. I felt like I was in the Wild West. So shout out to the Bowmans and I believe it was the Holmes for putting together such a great event for the past 10 years. And best of luck to the next chairs. They have some big shoes to fill. You know, I know, though, that they left everything pretty much in working order so they can pick up right where they left off. So, yeah, man, it's a great event for sure. We lost Drew there for a minute, but he looks like he's back now. Thank God, because I was just trying to make stuff up and fill some time. So
I have no idea what you're talking about, so I'm not going to agree to a thing.
I was just talking about how Damon and I volunteered to break everything down and how when we went in, it was like, you know, just being transported into a whole different place. It definitely didn't look like a high school.
I should have mentioned you guys because that was huge that you guys showed up at 3 o'clock in the morning.
It was 3. I thought it was 4.
It might have been.
No, I think it was 3. You were right. It was 3.
I was up all.
Yeah, there's a lot of volunteers started at 10 a.m.
by then. Uses the entire school.
Yep. Yeah, a lot of the volunteers
and then
started.
We have to return it to the school at the end of the after prom. So that entire thing has to be broken down and you know, being there all day and up all night, you're exhausted. So you two guys, along with a few others, coming in and helping out, especially when you don't have kids that were at the prom or after prom. Thank you for that. That was very generous of you guys.
Hey, no problem. Damon was clutch and rented that U-Haul. That was key.
Yes.
So, but you know, that's what it is. I know a lot of those people support us and the Junior Raiders and what we've done over the past few years. So, you know, if we can give back, it's how community works. That's what makes Ocean City the special place that it is. You know, that sense of community within this resort, city, small town, whatever you want to call it, is really what makes it special and keeps everybody coming back.
And to tie them together, so Billy Holmes owns...
I was right. I said Holmes. Thank gosh.
Holmes, yeah. Billy Holmes owns Buddy's Ice Cream. And Buddy's Ice Cream is... We're doing our third night of mini camp on the beach this week. And at the end of the mini camp, Bill's coming over with Buddy's Ice Cream. Is going to treat Junior Raiders with and if anybody doesn't know Buddy's Ice Cream, you'll see him you know, working the beach ends, and he also does parties and events, and he's a super guy. He's super generous. He's got a great business, and his truck is, in my opinion, Dom, best ice cream truck on the island. I know we didn't, I didn't
We
give you
didn't do that. We
out,
didn't.
but I'm telling you right now, Buddy's ice cream is the best on the island.
No argument there. No argument there. I'll make sure I bring the water cache on Wednesday or Thursday.
Do that.
So I want to give a shout out to one of my friends recently just did something pretty cool. Her name is Olivia Margulis. Hopefully I pronounced that correctly. I just know her as Liv. She's a member of the gym that I go to. It's a pretty cool, tight-knit community. But she just authored and illustrated a children's book called Hello Ocean City.
Really?
And yeah, it's cool. It's about a small little sandpiper named Pip, and it's search all around Ocean City, and it highlights local businesses and all the great things that make the island special. So if you want to grab a copy of that, they are for sale at Bowfish Kids. You can check it out there and pick one up. So,
and she's a Ocean City local, Dom?
Now this is they do her. She does live on the island. I would consider her more of a local in purgatory at this point. Sorry, Liv. Just going to be honest with you.
That's okay.
Moved on a little bit ago, but
you know how I feel about that. I'm going to go buy her book just to support her, and I'll give it to one of my nieces or nephews.
Yeah, check it out. It's a cool little book. It's one thing to write a book. It's another thing to draw the pictures for it too. So that's pretty sweet, if you ask me. So, well, Drew, I'm very excited. If anyone notices, we got a new logo here. My wife is a graphic designer. She cleaned that up. So shout out to her. Thanks for taking the time to.
Very talented. Thank you.
Yeah. Just bring it, make it a little more modern, make it a little more legible, give that designer's touch to it. So we appreciate that. We're going to get the merch store up and running soon, so you can buy some t-shirts, some hats with our logo on it, some variations. If you're not following us on social media, make sure you check us out on Instagram, the local OCNJ. That's our handle. And you can find our link tree there. Got YouTube. You can watch us. You can do whatever you want. Twitter. No one really seems to follow us on Twitter, Drew. We're not big Twitter people, I guess, yet. So it's just a matter of time. So, well, everyone have a fun and safe night in Venice. Slow down, take your time, get into where you got to go, and enjoy yourself. I think we lost Drew again. When you're still sending smoke signals, sometimes your internet service isn't the greatest. But on behalf of Drew and myself, we really appreciate all the support we've gotten lately. The comments and, the people just reaching out and saying that you're listening really means a lot to us. So thank you. Again, be safe, have fun this weekend. It is the night of nights. Let's make it a safe and fun night. Happy night in Venice, everyone. Until next time, I'm Dominick Dougherty. For Drew Fasy, we're your local guys, and this has been the OCNJ Local, your podcast for everything happening here in America's greatest family resorts. Peace out, everybody.